Welcome into another edition of That's Deep. I am Tommy Z, joined as always by Johnny Bravo. Feels like we haven't done this in like a month. We had a week off, and then I was sick last week. So we're back. UFC 307. Johnny, how you feeling? Not the greatest card, but it's a card.
Yeah, feels like we haven't been here for forever.
Yeah.
Coming back to this card, I mean, it's not my favorite card. There's some rough spots here. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a tough
I do
one.
feel like there's some dog opportunities on this card. I don't know. I think we could probably find some value, but yeah, it's not the greatest.
No. Pretty.
We've got two title fights. Poetan's back.
About it. That's about the only good thing about the card, pretty much.
We'll pick and choose here. So let's jump right into it. Our first fight on the card, couple old savvy vets. Probably not long for the UFC, either one of these guys anymore. They're probably on their last leg. Got Court McGee taking on Tim Means in a welterweight bout. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are these are two old washed guys fighting each other, and do you feel comfortable laying minus 200 on Tim Means?
Exactly.
And I would have to say probably not.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel comfortable either putting my money on Court McGee. I mean, Court McGee's path of victory here is obviously he's going to want to get the grappling going and mixed in takedowns. This is like a hometown fight for him too. This might even be his retirement fight. Who knows? He's 39 years old. He's getting his last fight by his hometown. He's probably gonna go out there and put out a good effort. I would think. He's in front of all his friends and family. And Tim Means, he's 39 years old, questionable chin. I mean, I guess he has some decent pop in his hands, some sneaky subs. This is a real tough one for me. I mean, I can't lay minus 200 on Tim Means, and I mean, the knockout price isn't good enough.
Right.
So it's like dog or pass for me, I guess. At the price, I guess Court McGee. I mean, but yeah, I'm not excited about this one at all.
Yeah, this might be one just to lay off. I mean, I feel like Tim Means could win. I mean, I think he should win. He's a little bit more technical. He's longer. He does have some sneaky submissions. Court McGee's not a guy that really gets submitted, but yeah, I mean, my official pick to win, it would be Tim Means here. But I feel like this is a fight that probably not going to bet. Maybe take a shot on the inside the distance, but I'm not going to. After last week's card wasn't a great card for me, I'm not gonna bet a fight like this. I don't think, unless something changes. But as of right now, it's
maybe live. I don't know. Maybe live.
Yeah, we can live angle is always there. But yeah, that's it for me. I think I picked Tim Means to win, but I'm probably not doing anything with it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, our next fight is in the women's strawweight division, as my dog goes crazy upstairs. We got Carla Esparza, former two-time champ, taking on Tisha Pennington. Another, two vets that who knows how long either one of them is going to be in the UFC. Esparza, I do believe this is her retirement fight. I believe she announced that. She just had a baby, so this is her first fight back. Tisha, she had a baby like a year and a half ago, so this is I think her second fight since. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is another one I really don't want to bet. I don't really. I mean, Tisha. How committed is she to the game right now? She's coming back. I mean, she had a decent performance against Ricci, I would say. in her comeback fight, but I mean, I think she clearly lost the fight, in
Right.
my opinion. And I don't know, as far as a retirement fight, it's hard to call. Like, I mean, Esparza could come out here and just kind of do what Ricci did and kind of just take her down. I mean, it's hard to keep her down, but I mean, I could
Yeah.
see the rinse and repeat where she just gets multiple takedowns, and it's maybe the judges. It's either what the judges are probably going to score here, probably with damage, what Tisha is probably going to land, and or the grappling where Carla's probably going to have a success. I mean, this could be a split. Big candidate for a split, but yeah. On the side, I'm going to pick Tisha to win, but low confidence, and I don't know if I'll get there. I'm not sure. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, not confident. I don't like this fight.
Yeah, I agree. I like Tisha here too. I feel like she's just the more active of the two. Carla could definitely get her wrestling going, and if she does, that can work out in her favor. But yeah, I like obviously the over in this. It's going to be juiced. I haven't even seen an over line, but
-650.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna get from Carla. First fight back from having a baby. Oftentimes it does not go well. So I don't know. I guess I got to give it to Tisha on activity, and Tisha by decision, I guess, would be my pick. But yeah, again, there's a lot of unknowns in this one, and it's tough. But yeah, I think I'm going to roll with Tisha as well.
Another one.
All right, we will move on to the next fight here. This is a fight that we have already broken down. This is Ryan Spann taking on Ovince St. Preux. They were supposed to fight about a month ago. I believe it was St. Preux who got sick on fight day. They canceled that fight. Again, couple old vets here. We don't know what we're going to get from either guy going forward. St. Preux was supposed to retire going into his last fight, and then he won and decided to keep going. I can't remember exactly what your thoughts were on the last fight, so I guess let us know again. And
yeah, both of these guys suck. I really don't have any confidence on a side here. I mean, how many times have we seen Ryan Spann kind of winning the fight, and then he just isn't winning the fight? You know, he's not. His fight IQ is just terrible. I mean, when he needs to do something, he doesn't do it. I mean, he's got that good guillotine, but he hasn't landed it in a while. I mean, the Anthony Smith fight was just, I mean, that was just a terrible look. And then he fights that fucking, what's his name? And gets starched by the guy who sucks too, fucking Guskov. Yeah, Guskov starches him. I mean, but Ovince St. Preux is what, 41, 42 years old, 40 years old. Just, I mean, he kind of had, I mean, he had a good performance in his last fight against Kennedy. I mean, for his, but Kennedy just really didn't do much in that fight. I don't know. That was just a weird fight. I don't know how St. Preux pulled it off. I think he's done. This is probably his retirement fight too. So I just don't think Spann is very good, and I don't know. Maybe a Spann early finish. Maybe he gets OSP out of there. But it's like, man, do you want to put money on Ryan Spann?
I do not. No, I never do.
So it's like, yeah. Even though I think he probably wins and probably smokes him, but I can't have confidence,
Yeah. I'm actually. We talked about this on the live show last week. This feels like a fight that's going to get finished, and it very easily could go 3 rounds. I'm tempted.
Also, these fights are at elevation too, so a lot of these guys, like Ryan Spann's cardio is shit.
Yeah.
So if he's up there and if he goes all out in round 1 and doesn't get the finish, I mean, he could be completely cooked.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. I think Ryan Spann should win the fight. I think, early he's definitely dangerous. I could see him getting him out of there. But yeah, I mean, I could see this fight going long as well. Both of them could be tired, just kind of a slop fest for 3 rounds.
I mean, I
we've
can
seen
even
it
see a
time and
world
time
where,
again.
I
Go
can
ahead.
even see a world where OSP can fucking win a decision. Like,
Yeah, just outpoint him.
point him, just staying to the outside, jabbing him, and fucking Ryan Spann is just an idiot and doesn't know what to do. You know?
Right? Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it time and time again with Ryan Spann. Fights he dominates in the first round, he ends up still squeaking out a decision at the end. So, yeah, I mean, my official pick to win would be Spann, but I'm kind of curious. I'm going to look at what the overs are, and I might just bet the
Over
over.
1.5 is -115.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, fight goes to decisions. It's probably going to be it will be plus money. Might take a shot on that.
+300.
Yeah, I might take a shot on that. Just
And it's too these guys. We don't know how these fighters are going to react in elevation. It could be a weird card, man. This
and
is a lot of
Spann's not going out of his way to train for the elements, and
no.
St. Preux is on his way out, so it's not like these guys are looking to fight for the title anytime soon. So they're not going above and beyond to train. They're probably just going to the gym and going through the motions. So
Ryan Spann by decision +750.
That's a look, man. But yeah, it's going to be ugly. I could just see it just being ugly, and we're sitting there bored as we're waiting for the fight to come to a close. And yeah, I don't know. I could see it, but yeah, again, I have no confidence putting my money really anywhere in that fight. So anything I bet would be a sprinkle, and any plus money stuff, I guess, would probably be the way to go. But we can move on to another rough one. At least we're a little bit younger, not much younger here with the fighters, but we've got Cesar Almeida taking on Ior Pereira, middleweight bout. Almeida, very good kickboxer, dangerous striking. Pereira, just kind of a wild man in there. He's a vet of the game. He's a killer, be killed type guy. I don't know. Almeida has the better striking here, but Pereira can make the fight ugly. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting one. I mean, Almeida, he's coming in because he has a win over Pereira, so that's why UFC are kind of pumping him up. He's on the same card here, and I think he even trains with Glover. So, I mean, he's got that going for himself, but he's a good kickboxer, very skilled, good striker, good power in his hands. And he fooled people to make people think he could defend a takedown, but Dylan Bucka couldn't really get him down and hold him down. But we found out that Dylan Bucka is not UFC level and just not good.
Yeah.
Because in the next fight he just got like completely dominated in the grappling.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking my guy with the curly hair that looks like Chase Hooper. Names.
Wow, why am I blanking?
Kopylov. Yeah, Kopylov just went out there and just out wrestled him, and Kopilov's not really a great wrestler. He's not known for his wrestling. He's more of a striker.
Right.
And he went out there and pretty much just khabibed him for 3 rounds, which was pretty crazy. So we know that his takedown defense is questionable, But if it's on the feed, I mean, he's dangerous, Pereira is just, I don't think this guy is very good. I think he's probably got 3 minutes of cardio, 4 minutes maybe. He does swing wild, and he swings wild. He has power in his hands. If he hits you on the button, he could put you out. But I don't really see him unless he goes take the takedown route here, which he might and he could, because Kopolov just took him down, and you got to think if his coaches have any sense, you got to think that they're telling him that's game plan. Don't go out there and strike with them to wrestle him. But I don't think he has the cardio to do that for 15 minutes or whatever it is. Maybe he can find a submission on the ground, but I find it hard. I think eventually Almeida finds the button and puts him out probably like a round 2, maybe even round 1. Yeah, I like Almeida here by knockout.
Yeah, I kind of like the round 2 look, honestly, because I could definitely see Pereira coming out and trying to wrestle and maybe having some success in the first round. But like you said, cardio probably not going to hold up to continue that for 3 rounds. He'll probably be tired in the second round. You have to expect Almeida's going to be at least ready for it. It's going to be something that he's going to have to deal with his entire career. As long as he's fighting MMA, everybody's going to look to take him down. So you would hope that he improves slightly, even if it's with his get-ups or just, keeping himself safe on the ground. But yeah, I think Pereira is just so wild that at some point probably at multiple points, he's going to run into big shots. And he's a guy that can take a shot, get hurt, and recover. But he just keeps coming in there. And I
don't know I don't think his chin is very good. I think.
No, that's the thing. He's just, even if he survives 1 or 2, he's just going to keep coming in wild. And at some point, it could be the first one, but yeah, we've seen him hurt and rocked on multiple occasions. We've seen him submitted. We've seen him knocked out. He's got an ugly game. If he can make it ugly and just kind of wear on Almeida, maybe that could be a path for him, but I don't think so. I think Almeida probably finds him at some point. I think second or third round is probably a good look.
I love that second round look. I'll probably be on. I love that second round look.
Me too, man. That's probably the first thing I'll be looking at.
But now do you want to take the combo of KO 1 or 2, or you could take the combo 2 or 3, which I would be worried that he just puts him out with the first punch he hits.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I guess it would all come down to, does Pereira, find a takedown, or can he hold him up against the cage or something like that? Just kind of make it last. But yeah, it could be over quick too. The guy comes in, he doesn't protect himself well. Almeida's a good striker, so. But yeah, I like Almeida. I think he finishes the fight, and I guess it's just a matter of when. So we shall see. All right, the next fight on the card is one that I actually have a little bit more confidence in. We've got Austin Hubbard taking on Alex Hernandez, lightweight fight. I like Hernandez here, man. I just feel like this is the type of fight that he wins. Hubbard's tough. He's decent. He's been around a little while, but I don't know. I'm just not sold on the kid at this point. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Hernandez, I was high on this kid. He looked, pretty, decent, but it's like he's got all the tools. He's pretty good everywhere.
Yeah.
But the thing that always lets him down is like his cardio and his fight IQ. And it's like he makes like a lot of dumb choices in there, and it's not the greatest look. He's got about 7 minutes of cardio. We're fighting at elevation. And it's a tough one because I want to back Hernandez. I want to bet him, but before he's let me down so many times that I can't do it to myself anymore. And then Austin Hubbard, I don't think he's very good. He had his stint, and then he came back on the tough at the Tough House with all the fighters that washed out, and he somehow earned a contract, and he's here fighting again. I don't think he's very good. But I mean, the cardio probably is better than Hernandez, and can he outlast Hernandez? That is the real question. Yeah, if I was playing this, I would probably pay Hernandez like a finish, like 1 or 2. Maybe KO 1 or 2, or just 1 or 2 itself, because maybe you can snatch up a sub. But yeah, I don't really like this fight either. So
Yeah,
the pick
I
is
mean,
Hernandez with low confidence, and yeah, I hate this fight.
yeah, I can see the points are valid. I think though that most of his cardio issues we've seen have more so been when he drops down to 145. He has slowed down a bit in fights at 55, but it was against guys that, put some damage on him and kind of just beat him from the beginning of the fight. I think when he's kind of a front runner. I think he's the ultimate front runner, and when he's going well,
But
his confidence is there. I think he's got the power to hurt Hubbard, and I just think he's just overall better than Hubbard. I guess if he were to slow down, that would be an issue because Hubbard is, his cardio should be decent. But yeah, I just feel like he's a level above Austin Hubbard all around.
But how many times have we seen Hernandez come out in round 1, look like the best fighter on the roster, and then after 5 minutes, just dead? Like,
No, I hear you. I agree.
So it's like,
yeah, no, I hear you for sure.
Can't
I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm just lower on Hubbard, and that gives me.
I think Hubbard sucks. I mean,
yeah.
I think that, but
yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like this is a good spot for Hernandez. I think he's going to look great. This is going to be one of those fights where he looks much better than he is. Yeah, I think he's going to come out looking good in this one. But I do get it. I understand why anybody would be hesitant to trust him because he is very hot and cold, and he does, he has slowed down in the past. So I just don't think that even if he slows down, I just don't think Hubbard's really got the game to really push him and hurt him and break him down. I just don't think he has it. But we can move on. The next fight is – these fights are getting slightly better as we go here. In the women's strawweight division, we have – it's not – hold on one second. There we go. We have Marina Rodriguez taking on Yasmin Lucindo. Two good strikers. Lucindo is a good grappler. She could try to get the grappling going here. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I mean, Lucindo, the young prospect coming up, she's got good striking. She's got some decent wrestling. For striking, she throws heat on the feet. She throws some heavy shots. I mean, I think she's got some potential. She could be something. Yeah, I think she's pretty good. And Rodriguez is savvy old vet, like you like to say. 35 years old, been around for a long time, fought the who's who. I mean, her resume is pretty stacked. I mean, she's pretty much fought everybody. Yeah, this is the point where what is the UFC? They're trying to set up Lucindo with a good win and against a good name and try to elevate her to the top, or does she hit that speed bump and fall back? I was on Rodriguez in her last fight. I mean, she performed decent, but I mean, I think her takedown defense is pretty questionable. I don't think it's very good. I think in Lucindo here, I think she can mix in that wrestling and take her down pretty easily here. Now we're in Salt Lake. Now we got to question the cardio. Can she grapple for 3 rounds? Because I think on the feet it's pretty close. Because I like Rodriguez's striking. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, just I mean, just give me Lucindo, just younger fighter, more tools in the toolbox. I think. Yeah, this is one fight. I think she gets it done here. Lucindo probably over 1.5 for me. For Lucindo, round two to Lucindo to win, round 2 to start, something like that. Yeah. Give me Lucindo.
Yeah, I'm kind of I've gone back and forth on this one. To me, this almost feels like a fight where we've seen a lot of the times where the younger prospect kind of gets not so much fraud checked, but like level checked. Rodriguez has fought a lot of the top fighters in the division, and she's done okay. She's been hit or miss with those high level fights, but this is definitely a step up for Lucindo. So I'm leaning Rodriguez. But yeah, I see again all the points you're making. If Lucindo gets the takedowns, that's a very good path for her. That could be all she really needs. Rodriguez has been taken down in the past. She has at times gotten up and looked very, landed damage and made rounds interesting just based on damage. So that's kind of what she would need to do here. She need to be active, get up, scramble. So I don't know. I like Rodriguez here. I'm leaning with the level of competition, just kind of to edge this one out. But yeah, confidence wise, not overly confident. I do like the overs though. With either fighter, I think the over 1.5 is the way to go. It's probably going to a decision, but I am slightly going to lean with Rodriguez here. So we can move on to our next fight, which is again, this is an interesting one, if nothing else.
Now we're getting into the good fights.
We've got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson taking on Joaquin Buckley, welterweight bout. Thompson's been around. He's been at the top of the division for years, many years. He's been a title challenger, very good striking. Most people, even the best strikers in the division, don't want to stand with him. Buckley is kind of a wild man. He's got good striking. He's got good power. He can mix in the grappling. He's been kind of hot and cold in the UFC, but he's always live. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Wonder Boy's got that karate style striking. His striking is pretty elite, man. Though that karate style, I mean, it's very good. But the thing about Wonder Boy is if you could take him down, then he has big problems getting back up to his feet and defending himself on the ground, which is I don't know. I think it might be a problem here. Buckley, he's known for he's got the highlight reel on Impa, the spinning heel kick. Good power. His cardio to me could be questionable later into fights, and that probably what Wonder Boy would want to do here because Buckley had already said in his interviews that he's going to want to grapple. They asked, "Are you going to strike with one?" He's like, "Hey, hell no, I'm not striking. I'm going to take him down." So most likely Buckley is going to probably wrestle here. I'm expecting him to. And I think he probably smashes Wonder Boy. I don't know here. I've got a weird feeling that he takes him down and lands some big ground and pound. My only concern is can Wonder Boy survive and maybe Buckley gasses himself out and then Wonder Boy's just able to piece him up on the feet. Maybe. Could be an interesting live betting entry spot. Like if Wonder Boy can survive that initial onslaught and still look good. But I'm gonna pick Buckley here to get him out of there. I think Wonder Boy, he's 41 years old. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna side with Buckley, ground and pound, knockout round 2. Maybe a Wonder Boy live entry spot if he looks good, or maybe if he's stuffing the takedowns from Buckley and then Buckley decides he wants to strike, then maybe we enter in on Thompson. But
Yeah.
if Buckley's getting that grappling going, I think he's going to have a lot of success.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. Yeah, if Buckley gets the grappling going and if he's willing to grapple, Wonder Boy's takedown defense is awful, and when you take him down, you pretty much keep him down. We've seen that be a path, and some guys have done it out of desperation because his striking is so good. But if Buckley does commit to the takedowns, again, we've seen him grapple in the past, but cardio, can it hold up for 3 rounds if he's grappling for 3 rounds? I guess that'll be in question, but I think he probably can. It's not like Wonder Boy is. You're not working too hard to get him to the ground. So if the game plan is to grapple, you can definitely win. You can definitely win a fight grappling against this guy. So yeah, I like Buckley here. I do think he's also, he's got the power too. He swings for the fences and he can clip Wonder Boy. We've seen him. I mean, Pettis knocked him out back in the day. That was kind of a fluky thing, but we have seen it happen before. If Kevin Holland was smart, he would have wrestled Wonder Boy and he would have beat him that way, but he wanted to strike and put on a show, and then he ended up getting his ass kicked. So if Buckley saw that and knows, hey, listen, I got to take this guy down, just go for the takedowns. That's the path. I think Buckley can get the job done.
Great.
All right. Our next fight, speaking of Kevin Holland, is in the middleweight division. We've got Roman Dolidze taking on Kevin Holland. 2 guys that, man, very talented. I've won money on them both in multiple spots. I've lost money on them in multiple spots because sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get out of either one of these guys. Dolidze probably going to have a pretty decent size advantage. I mean, height-wise, Kevin Holland is taller by an inch, but Dolidze is a big guy. We've seen him fight at 205. Seen Holland fight at welterweight. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is an interesting one too. Roman Dolidze. I mean, his last few performances have not looked very great. I mean, he's looked pretty slow. Doesn't really look like like the fight IQ is there. He just hasn't looked like. I mean, he was on a run. I think he hasn't looked like that Vettori fight. He had a good performance, but still lost.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't looked like that since then. Like, he's just looked real, like, tentative, not letting his hands go, not grappling when he should. It hasn't looked good for Dolidze lately. And, Holland, we know Holland, he's one of the most active fighters in the UFC. He fights anybody fucking any day,
Yeah.
Slick jiu-jitsu, good striking. Yeah, but once again, fight IQ, not very good. Just terrible fight IQ. When he needs to grapple, he doesn't grapple. When he needs to strike, he wants to grapple. Like, it's just not. I don't know. This is whether if Dolidze gets the wrestling going. I mean, we've seen Holland held down before. And I'm going to lean with Dolidze here to probably mix with that. I don't know. I'm undecided on this one. I'm leaning Dolidze right now. Yeah, because I can see a world where Kevin Holland starches him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna lean that Delitze gets the wrestling going. But I don't know. This maybe a sneaky under here. I think could be in play.
Yeah.
Under
I
two
mean,
and a half
Delite
is
does
plus.
have slick submissions. We've seen
He's
that.
got subs, Holland on the ground. Maybe he gets into like mountain ground and pounds. Holland could catch him in a sub, or he could knock him out. The under 2.5 is plus 170. I don't mind that. The lead say by
Yeah.
sub is 14-1. Holland KO plus 400. That might be interesting to me.
Yeah, I think Holland's path would be KO TKO. I think he.
I don't know. I'm undecided on this one. I think as we're talking it out here, I think I might take Kevin Holland. Like initially leaned the lead say, but now the more I think about it, I think Holland could catch.
Yeah, I think I generally I like to bet Delidze as a dog. I think there was like 4 fights in a row. He was the underdog and cashed. So I was a big fan of him at that point. I did bet him the Marvin Vettori fight as well, obviously, because that was the end of that streak. But and that was a good fight. I thought he had a chance to win it. He was just a step behind. The Anthony Smith fight, I know he won it, but I was very disappointed. I thought he would run through Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
So it is tough to kind of get behind him. Again, he's a dog here, so I don't mind betting him as an underdog ever. But I do like Kevin Holland as well. I mean, the striking is very good. His grappling is actually good too. He's very sneaky. He's slick with his submissions. It's when Kevin Holland's on, he's really tough. He's good everywhere. Can be taken down and controlled, but again, we've seen him taken down and controlled against some of the better wrestlers at middleweight. Delidze could be that guy, but again, he doesn't always show that. So if that's the plan for Delidze, that could be it. That could be the path. He could win the fight that way. But yeah, man, the more I think about it, Holland is very active, and anytime he's gotten taken down in the past, if he gets to his feet at all, like if he just working his way up, he's always active. He's always busy. And against a guy like Delidze, who activity is a problem a lot of times, that could be enough to win the fight. So I kind of feel like I've got to roll with Kevin Holland in this one. I like the Delidze as a dog, but I feel like as I see the fight playing out in my head, I just feel like Kevin Holland is the side, unfortunately. Well, I guess I'm not unfortunately, but I always want to bet Delidze as the dog.
I'm a fan of Kevin Holland. I like.
Yeah, me too.
I
love Kevin. I mean, he's been
Delidze, not so much, but
he was through the pandemic. Kevin Holland was one of the best fighters to watch. I mean, the guy felt like he was fighting every week, and crazy knockouts and crazy finishes and wild fights. So love Kevin Holland, big fan. So yeah, I think I'm going to roll with him on this one, and this one would definitely be an interesting live bet too. I think there might be an opportunity here, especially
money keeps coming in on Delidze too, so the number on Holland is getting better. I didn't like the Holland when he was like minus 170. Now he's like minus 140. He's creeping down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's very rangy. He's tough. Yeah. If the line keeps going down, even better. But yeah, officially, I'm going to roll with Holland in this one. All right. Our next fight is in the women's bantamweight division. We have, in many people's eyes, the uncrowned champion, Kayla Harrison, taking on Ketlen Vieira. She's been a title challenger. She's been at the top of the division for a long time. She has good size. She's got a judo background, so she might be able to slow down Kayla a little bit, but overall, Kayla Harrison is a massive favorite in this one. And to me, I think it's more about how are we going to bet her than if she's going to win or not. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this one is pretty one-sided affair. I mean, the odds have it like that, we know Kayla from her PFL run. I mean, where she was running through everybody. Olympic gold medalist in judo. I mean, she's a beast. She looks like she's on all the vitamins. Yeah, she's jacked. She's cutting. I don't know how she makes the weight. We'll see how that looks. That'll be another interesting thing I would want to see is I would want to see her on the scales because, I mean, this is probably going to be her second time cutting down to 135. So
yeah,
that's going to be interesting. I mean, do the weight cuts get easier the more you do them, or do they get harder the older you get? That's a question. She's going to want to get her wrestling going and inflict damage on the ground. She's got subs, good ground and pound. I think when she gets the shot, she's probably going to be the champ and set up the Amanda Nunes fight, which is probably what the UFC are salivating for.
right.
So she went out there. She had a great performance against Holly, pretty much ragdolled her, and now she's got Pereira. I mean, Pereira is a tricky one because her takedown defense is pretty good. She's hard to take down. She's got good wrestling of her own. Her striking on the feet leaves a little bit to be desired. It's kind of rudimental, not really. She's not very fast. Decent pop, I guess, for the women's division. But yeah, this is going to probably just be Kayla. Just like you said, how do we bet her? Do you think she finishes her? Which we're actually getting a great price on her by finish. Well, not really. I thought it would be better, but yeah, it's actually plus 110 inside the distance, plus 110 by decision. So they're making you pick. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's Kayla, but it's like, does she finish her?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I think she probably does because at some point I think she's just going to have a lot of control and she's going to be landing heavy ground and pound. And I don't know. I feel like
But then again, too, how is this weight cut going to affect? And then we're at elevation. That could affect her cardio to where she's not really, I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of thought that in the first fight too. Not with elevation, but just the weight cut in general. It didn't really seem like it was all that tough on her. Obviously, it was.
Well, on the scales, she looked kind of rough, but she hydrated pretty well.
She seemed like she recovered well. She is a pro. She's very dedicated. So her diet's on point coming into it, and the weight cut's never going to be easy for her. But I don't know if it's ever really going to affect her too much. So it's tough to. Even last week, I thought Aylin Perez was in trouble when she was basically dead on the scale, like convulsing, and she comes out and she dominates,
slice right through her.
No? So it could be a situation like that. I do think the fight goes longer. I think Vieira's tough. I think she hangs in there. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Kayla is kind of just on a mission right now. Now that she's finally in the UFC, it's about making a statement. We know they wanted to fight for the belt, so regardless, she's going to get that title shot. But I feel like she's going to be finishing fights along the way. I just think she's just a better fighter. She's stronger, and I think inside the distance at plus 110, I think it's a solid.
They're really they're making you pick one way to win. That's it. That's all you can bet. And like everything's priced the same. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's tough too, because I mean we've seen her in her PSL
we've seen her
fight.
sub. She can get a sub. She can ground and pound, or she can just dominate and win a 3-round decision. So it is,
Yeah, and I can see her definitely doing that too, going 3 rounds. And
Pereira's pretty tough. She's a tough girl, and she's got good grappling. So it's like,
But then it's like one of those fights where you think that, and you're like, oh yeah, she's got good grappling, she's going to defend well, and then Kayla finishes her in the first round, and it's just like, how, So it's tough.
Yeah.
It's like the Klein fight last week. We thought we could get an inside the distance prop, and we weren't really close.
We were never close in that one.
Yeah, it's brutal. One of those ones
it's
where
fucking it's brutal.
Yeah. And just like even the Brito fight, like we had the finish in the first round, and then he ends up losing a decision. So I don't think that's going to happen here. But it's tough, man.
Maybe we see what the Kayla and over 1.5 is. But
that might not be too bad, honestly.
The over 1.5 is -300, and her money line is -1,000, so it's probably going to be like -200.
Yeah, that's probably not. That's not really worth it either.
The -3.5 is -325.
That I don't mind that as a parlay piece.
Maybe you can get your baseball going. We got some playoffs. You can,
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, we don't have a good gauge on what to bet, but I don't mind that -3.5 at all as a parlay piece.
Yeah.
Pete put that with Poatan knockout maybe, but there's probably a couple spots where we could tie that too.
Yeah, we can find. Oh yeah, just gotta look into it.
But that's. I mean, we both think Kayla's going to win. I think she's going to dominate. It's just a matter of how the fight's going to finish. Hopefully, we get there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like that 3.5 in a parlay though. That might be the way I go.
Yeah, definitely.
That might be the way I go.
I will definitely have that
think about it now.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We have Jose Aldo making a resurgence after we all thought he was retired, taking on Mario Bautista. Super talented, 14-2 record. Kid's very good everywhere. Good striking, grappling. Aldo looks like he turned back the clock a little bit though, so I don't know, man. This is an interesting one. Aldo is a very, very popular dog this week. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, interesting fight. The return of the GOAT made me look like an absolute fucking idiot last time because I was on Martinez. Straight idiot, and never had a chance in that fight. I mean, Aldo looked like his career, like he was back in the WEC days. He looked fucking amazing in that fight. Like I couldn't even believe it. Like, oh man, I mean, he looked really good, man. Does he catch this second little win and start reeling off these? We already know what he brings to the table. He's decorated champion. He's one of the best to ever do it in MMA. I mean, what else do you need to say? Mario Bautista, good young fighter. I mean, I like Bautista. I'm a Bautista fan. I think he's pretty good. He's won me a lot of money before. This is going to be a striking battle though, because I don't see him being able to take down Aldo and hold him down. If Merab shot 16 takedowns and couldn't get one, I think it's going to be pretty hard for Batista to shoot and get takedowns here. So I primarily think it's going to be a striking battle. Aldo can mix in those great leg kicks he has, those legendary leg kicks. I think this could be a close one here, but oh man, everybody's on Jose Aldo. The whole world's on Aldo. Money's coming down. Batista's now minus 135, the younger fighter. Skilled. I mean, it's a tough one. I just can't fade Aldo. I gotta ride with them. I can't fade him. I don't know. I have like PST of what he fucking did to me in the last fight. So it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah,
I can't go against him. I can't bet against him. This might be a live betting opportunity,
Yeah.
But I think the pick is going to be Aldo for me, even though I hate it because the whole world is backing him and he's the older fighter. Maybe this is a buy low spot for like Batista. Everybody's coming in on Aldo, and maybe Batista just dominates.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
It's hard to pick, Like now the money line is, all the good plus money's gone on Aldo. Now Batista's just sitting there at like minus 130, minus 125.
You could
calling my name.
You could get him at plus money if you just throw in the over 1.5. Because he's not finishing Aldo early, I don't think.
Yeah.
So it's Batista is very tempting now.
But it's hard for me to fade Aldo at the price right now. Yeah.
But it almost feels like this is the time to do it, just because of
everybody. I'm talking about the whole world.
Legit, dude. It's crazy.
I haven't seen one person pick Mario Batista.
Neither have I.
So
I'm in the same boat with you. I got the PTSD, man. I ate a big one there in that Martinez fight. That sucked, especially being an Aldo fan. Just
an Aldo fan betting against him and just getting crushed and just schooled, and then he got finished in round 3 too, right? Yeah.
Was it around? Yeah. It was
like a round 3 finish. It was a beatdown.
It was brutal. So but it doesn't. I don't know, man. Batista, he hasn't really fought anybody. He has definitely not fought anybody at the level of Aldo. Competition's definitely not that high. But I mean, he's fast too. He's very fast. He's well-rounded. He's strong. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like sitting here right now, I feel like I have to pick Batista just because I just feel like this is one of those fights where everybody goes one way, you got to go the other way. I think I hate to do it, but I think I'm going to take that shot. I think I'm going to go up with Batista here.
And once again, us sitting here and talking it out, I initially thought I would be on Aldo, but seeing everybody's on Aldo, money's coming in, the price. Maybe I look like an idiot again. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, at least this time we'll know what's coming. We'll know what to expect.
We'll already be. Yeah. So
we'll just keep betting against him for the next 4 fights in the UFC. Maybe eventually he'll lose. Yeah. But I don't know. It feels like that spot. But again, I feel like if you're betting Bautista, you bet the over 1.5. I think the fight goes longer. If you can get him at even money or plus money, worth a shot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that will move us on to our co-main event, the first title fight on the card. We have a women's bantamweight bout between the champ, Raquel Pennington, taking on Juliana Pena. Pena shocked the world a couple of years ago when she beat the GOAT, Amanda Nunes. then came back in the rematch, and she fought it. Actually, she fought a good fight. I mean, she got dropped like 3 or 4 times, but she never stopped coming forward. She was, she was looking for submissions, and she was looking to finish that fight the whole time. It was pretty good beatdown, but she showed a lot of heart. And Rocky she's just steady. She's tough. She's pretty well rounded. And she is the current champ. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, initially before watching some tape on this one, I thought I would be on Juliana Pena at the plus money. But yeah, after watching the tape, I can't bet Juliana Pena. I mean, the technique is just horrible. Her striking is terrible. She just runs forward and just throws and hopes she lands. I mean, her grappling is decent, I would say, but yeah, I mean, she's coming off a 2-year layoff here off an injury. You know how she's been calling out Amanda Nunes for 2 years. Amanda Nunes is retired. That was her whole claim to fame. How she's getting a title shot here, I don't know. They should have just gave it to Kayla. I would have rather seen that fight. Yeah, this is kind of one where it's like I can see just being just like an ugly women's MMA fight. Like I could see it being a split. I could see Rocky dominating, but I don't see Pena really dominating. That's the thing. So I don't know. I don't really like this fight. Pretty bad fight, but I'm gonna pick Rocky to get the Rocky by decision to get her hand raised.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I like the activity of Pena, but she's just very ugly with a lot of her technique, and she runs in wild. I mean, she literally sprinted at Amanda Nunes, throwing. I guess
and Amanda Nunes, even in the first fight, like she was just running forward, just
literally like she's just going like this. You know what? And it can be effective.
Drops her.
Yeah, it's ugly, and she doesn't do a lot of damage with her striking, so it's not like she keeps coming forward and you're like, oh my god, she won't stop. Like you can just jab her face off, and Rocky's been in there with the best of the best. Obviously, we saw her get pretty well worked over by Amanda as well, but she's definitely got the better technique. I don't know if I would say I would think she's the stronger of the two. Maybe Juliana might have a little bit more technical grappling, but Rocky's pretty tough. Most of her fights have taken place up against the cage. Either she's holding somebody against the cage and dirty boxing, or people are holding her up against the cage. And it's just kind of mostly just she's fighting in the clinch a lot of the times. And yeah, I think she can. I just think she can weather the storm that Juliana brings. And yeah, I think it's probably going to go all 5. And I like Rocky by decision here. And signed. You're right. I mean, she did make Amanda quit.
She did tap her out. Yeah, but she also got dropped in that fight a couple times too.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, that felt like more of Amanda just taking that fight lightly than Juliana doing anything to her. Because the first round, I remember I was watching it with some friends, and we were laughing because Amanda was laughing. Like Amanda was literally laughing, like she had her
Juliana striking.
Yeah, and it was just it was so bad, and then she just gassed out like it. So I don't know. That was a weird one. That was a weird one for sure. And
obviously it was a fluke though, because in the second fight she just absolutely smashed her pillar to post, and it was like a 50-43. Like it wasn't even close. Like So
Right. Yeah, and I mean, like Juliana, she never stopped fighting in that second fight. You got to give her credit there. I mean, she was going for it. She got dropped multiple times, and she did have she had an armbar. I think it was like the fourth round. She had an armbar that looked relatively deep. So yeah, she's live the whole 5 rounds. If this, I could see this being her last fight, and she goes for it, and this is she goes for it
Pena,
five rounds, and yeah, I could see it. I could see her being done after
all
this.
the injuries, she's just been, all the talk, all the everything. If she doesn't win this, like,
Yeah,
I could see her hanging it up
yeah,
and going into like commentary or like,
right,
some shit like that. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'll roll with Rocky by decision here. Again, it's a close fight. I mean, it would not shock me one bit if Juliana came out and found a way to get the job done. But for the most part, though, I just think she's a little bit too wild, a little bit too sloppy, and yeah, Rocky just kind of pushes a steady pace, and I feel like she gets the job done. All right, that brings us to our main event. I don't think any of us had this on our bingo card. Alex Pereira taking on Khalil Rountree. Rountree's been on a nice run. He's got some highlight knockouts on his record. Taking on Pereira, who he's just been the boogeyman of two divisions over the past, I guess, 2.5 years. I think I know your thoughts here, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, big Alex Pereira guy, big Poetan guy. Probably one of my favorite fighter to watch right now in the UFC. The dude is just electric. I mean, every time he steps in there, it's like you get a highlight reel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We know what we get from him. He's that left hook that left hook is one of the deadliest weapons ever in MMA. I think.
yeah,
He touches you with that, and it's like you're going to sleep. Like I watched back that Yuri fight, and it's like he tapped Yuri with that left hook, and Yuri was at the end of round 1, and he was just completely cooked.
yep,
Comes out, blasts that crazy head kick. It just puts him out cold. Like, man, that watching that back was pretty crazy. Yeah, the guy's a walking highlight reel, fan favorite. Everybody loves him,
yeah,
And Rountree, he's coming off the suspension. He had a suspension, even though in the suspension, I guess the people he was working with, they gave him attendance supplements. They told him, "Hey, you need to go do this." He went to the UFC. He told them he just took the suspension. He didn't meaningly take it. He
right,
was on a good run. The competition maybe wasn't the greatest he was fighting, and he was putting dudes out. Great kickboxer, great Muay Thai. Yeah, he's never shot in a takedown in the UFC, and I think the path to victory for anyone that's fighting Alex Pereira would be to shoot takedowns. So this is going to be a striking affair on the feet, and I just think you're striking with this guy. Eventually, he's going to find that button. Now he has been cracked before. We've seen him knocked out. The chin.
yeah,
Rountree does have power. Let's not say he's completely not in this fight, but he could
right,
land and hurt Poetan. But I just think the overall skills. I think the leg kick, the length is going to present a real problem for Rountree. He's going to utilize those big chopping kicks, and just keep his range and probably wait for Rountree to rush in, blitz in with an attack, and eventually his patented left hook comes in and probably puts him to sleep. Now it's how you're going to bet him is the real question. His knockout's like minus 280. Kind
right,
of hard to get there. The KO 1 or 2 is like minus 110. The way I was thinking of possibly going is maybe hope Rountree is tough enough he could survive round 1. And hopefully he's tough enough to survive, and then we can get the knockout 2, 3, 4 at like plus 165. That might be the route I'm gonna go, and then maybe have his KO in a couple parlays just to back myself. So but yeah, I think I'm gonna be betting the KO 2, 3, 4 at the plus 165, hoping Rountree can survive, and then just hopefully my boy does me good.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I think Poetan finds a button somewhere along the way, but yeah, it could be early, it could be late. It's tough. I mean, Rountree, the one thing that I don't like about Rountree is a lot of his knockouts, he kind of just
he's wild. He's just throwing low with everything he has. Hammer. Yeah, and he leaves him. Anthony Smith was touching him, man.
Yeah,
and if you get touched like that by Alex Pereira, it's gonna be a short night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
yeah, he's got that brawling knockout style, which is good, but against a guy like Pereira, I don't think it's I just don't think it's gonna work. I think he gets picked off at some point. And I don't know, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but I almost feel like they're gonna somehow end up in some kind of clinch or some grappling affair, and I wouldn't be shocked if Pereira subbed him. I just have that in the back of my head.
Maybe he pulls Gilly. Maybe I mean
he had Yuri in that guillotine in the first fight. Like I thought it was going to be
maybe
over in 30 seconds.
Maybe Rountree initiates like a tie clinch and Pereira pulls Gilly. I guess.
Like I know everybody says the path to beating him is taking him down, which is probably true. But the guy's been training with Glover for like 5-6 years now. His grappling is going to improve over time, and I don't know. I just think his submissions. I mean, I'm not saying go bet a sub, but I feel like I'm almost
at
tempted.
The price you could probably sprinkle it. You can
throw a little sprinkle on it. Just for some reason, I've just got like this thing in the back of my head where he's gonna somehow win by sub. I don't know why. It's just a weird feeling. But yeah, overall, I mean, I do expect him to win by knockout. I just think Khalil's just a little bit too wild.
You can get 20 to 1 on that.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to throw a little something on it. Nothing crazy, but that'd be a cool ticket to cash. But yeah, overall, I mean, I think Pereira gets the job done.
Chama. Let's go.
All right, so that's it. We will be live. It is a pay-per-view, so I do believe it's going to be a private show, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, we will be live. If you are not a member of Nuke the House, I don't know what you're waiting on. Again, this football season has been absolutely lights out. Keg and the boys are crushing. What was it? It was 60 units last month to start the NFL season. If you tailed every bet. So, I mean, it's a winning formula. So if you're not signed up, sign up. I do believe you can still get the free week. Nuke NFL is the promo code. And we'll be live all weekend. Football, MMA. Yeah, that's it. Got anything else, Johnny?
No, that's it. Good luck with your bets, and we'll see you guys this weekend.
All right. That'll do it for us. We will be back next week. Until next time, good luck this weekend.
Laters.